Hi there, students. The Overton window. So thank you to White Stripes for this suggestion. Okay, this word is a mixture of politics and sociology. The Overton window is the range of ideas, the range of political policies that are considered acceptable at a given time. So this is talking about the types of political policy that are acceptable at any moment. And the Overton window is something that moves over time. It shifts, and you can see how society's values change and have changed over the years. The Overton window is what a politician can propose without appearing extreme, without appearing to be a radical loony left or loony right. So it's this concept of the range of policies that are considered acceptable, that are acceptable by the mainstream public. And these are the policies that are viable for a politician to use. Let's see, this phrase is a neologism. It was coined by or named after Joseph Overton, who was an American policy analyst. And this is something that changes over time. For example, 30-40 years ago, the idea of legalizing cannabis was completely outside the Overton window. This was something that no politician could suggest without people saying, oh, he's a loony. However, today, the question of legalization of cannabis is a very different thing. In some American states, it has been legalized. And this shows us how the Overton window moves. Or votes for women's suffrage. 200 years ago, women did not have the vote. And the idea of votes for women was just ridiculous. It was not something that was within the Overton window in the early 19th century. However, the suffragettes came, they obtained votes for women, and today votes for women is right in the centre of the Overton window. So this shows how advocacy can change the Overton window. It can change the how it's viewed, because proposals outside of the Overton window are viewed as extreme. They're viewed as unthinkable. And what is unthinkable today, who knows tomorrow? So politicians typically operate within the Overton window, and they favour policies that are seen to be acceptable by their voters, by the people who vote for them. And that is the idea of the Overton window. It's the spectrum of it describes the political spectrum, perhaps from left to right. This can also be called the window of discourse, but I think I like the phrase Overton window more. And it shows how acceptable something is in the scale of things within our society. So yeah, it's the range of policies, the range of ideas that the public thinks are acceptable. And anything outside that is radical, while things inside the Overton window are mainstream and can be supported by politicians without losing popularity. So this window can move, it can shrink, it can expand. It depends on the changes in society. And very often it's influenced by deliberate efforts, by advocacy to move it, to promote more extreme ideas, to make moderate ones seem more acceptable. It's a spectrum of acceptability. It influences public opinion. It can be moved deliberately, and it's something that's dynamic. It doesn't stay still. So, or for example, one way of shifting a window is to support something that is more extreme than what you actually want, which then makes a more moderate policy acceptable. So, and this is ideas that were once unthinkable shift. For example, prohibition of alcohol. In the 1920s, there were alcohol was illegal in the United States, but now it's something that is acceptable. And this shows a shift in the Overton window. The Overton window is always moving because people's ideas of things are changing. Or the idea of same-sex marriage was once outside the Overton window, but now it's something that's widely accepted and even legally protected. So there are many things that move inside the Overton window that were outside, but also things that were inside the Overton window that move out. I'm thinking about the Overton window with reference to language. There are words that people use and are within the Overton window, but then they move out. Certain words referring to people of other races or people who are disabled. These words are moving out or have left the Overton window. There are many words you cannot write on YouTube because YouTube considers them outside the Overton window. So, the Overton window. What is acceptable? What people think is something reasonable? What people think is mainstream? Formality. I think I'm going to give it a 6 in formality. I think you could... No, 6 in formality. I think use it in a semi-formal conversation, semi-formal writing, or something more formal. I think informally you would use something to explain the concept. Politically acceptable, for example. So, Overton window. Bye for now.